Marrowbone Ridge, the Vanishing version English, in the deep, craggy spine of the Appalachian Mountains, just beyond the last paved roads and cell towers, there's a stretch of West Virginia forest that even seasoned hunters avoid. Locals call it the Silent Pines. A beautiful but unsettling place, cloaked in an unnatural hush. Birds don't chirp there, wind doesn't rustle the trees, compasses spin, and electronics fail. But somewhere beyond those pines, hidden from satellite imagery and absent from every government map, lies a town no one admits exists. They call it Marrowbone Ridge, not a ghost town, not ruins, a functioning town, but only in daylight. You won't find signs or road markers leading to it. There are no highways or trails. Most locals in the surrounding counties won't even mention its name unless they've had one too many drinks, or unless they're certain you're leaving town soon. Ask too many questions, and you might get a warning, a sideways look, or a quiet request to drop the subject. The earliest mention of Marrowbone Ridge goes back to the 1800s in miners' journals. A few entries talk about a valley town where the air gets too still after sunset, or a place where lamps burn without oil and dogs refuse to follow past the tree line. But the story that brought Marrowbone Ridge to public attention, briefly, happened in 2013. A solo hiker named Derek McCall got lost during a multi-day trek through a remote stretch of the Monongahela National Forest. After losing the trail and running low on water, he stumbled into a clearing he hadn't seen on any map. He saw smoke from chimneys, smelled firewood, and heard faint voices, children playing, a woman laughing, a radio playing old country music. He described it as walking into a postcard from the 1950s. Men in flannel shirts were chopping wood. Women in dresses and aprons were tending to gardens. Children rode bicycles with banana seats and streamers. It was lively, but oddly paused in time. They welcomed him with warm smiles, offered water, stew, and a cot to rest. But there was tension under the surface. Nobody would tell him the name of the town. When he asked what highway they were near, no one seemed to understand the question. Just before sunset, an old man gripped Derek's wrist and said, "You have to go before the bell rings. No matter what. Don't look back." At exactly 7:43 p.m., the church bell rang 3 times. The air grew dense. The sky turned from golden to blood orange, and the friendly chatter vanished. People scattered inside like insects avoiding light. One young woman slipped him a folded note and whispered, "You need to run." He did. He sprinted into the woods in the same direction he had entered. When he reached a ridgeline and looked back, Marrowbone Ridge was gone. Just trees. No smoke, no lights, no paths, no scent of firewood, only silence. When he returned to civilization the next day, park rangers told him he must have suffered heat stroke or hallucinations. But Derek had taken photos, 7 blurry images on his phone. They showed wooden houses, a church tower, even faces. When he tried to show them, his phone glitched. The files were corrupted. One image remained, a single church bell in mid-swing, blurred, in black and white. He posted his experience on Reddit. The story went viral. Paranormal forums, YouTube channels, and Reddit detectives descended on the mystery. For about 2 years, a cult following of hikers, amateur investigators, and cryptid hunters tried to find Marrowbone Ridge. Some returned claiming to have heard distant music or a bell ringing faintly at dusk. Others described strange time gaps, hours passing in minutes, or finding objects out of place. A 1953 nickel lying in fresh mud. A child's doll perfectly preserved in plastic. One user claimed to have found a fire pit still warm to the touch, but no sign of people. Another swore they heard someone whisper their name from deep in the trees. In 2016, things took a darker turn. Posts mentioning Marrowbone Ridge began disappearing. Threads were removed. Accounts were suspended. A handful of users claimed they were contacted by federal agents asking them to stop digging. A theory emerged that Marrowbone Ridge was the site of a Cold War experiment, perhaps related to temporal displacement, alternate timelines, or dimensional overlap. Some believed the town itself was a residual echo of another time, locked in a loop, visible only under certain conditions. Others blamed DARPA or the NSA. One document leak hinted at an Appalachian field anomaly, known internally as Site M Ridge, but the authenticity was never proven. What made the mystery even stranger were the consistent details across stories. The bell at exactly 7:43 p.m., the 1950s appearance, the warning to leave before sunset, and the complete disappearance of physical evidence afterward. In 2019, a man named Ray Tolbert uploaded a 12-minute YouTube video claiming to have filmed part of the town at dawn. The footage was shaky but eerie: a dirt road lined with abandoned cars, a church steeple, and a child's tricycle lying on its side. Within 24 hours, the video was deleted. Ray's channel was wiped, and his last online post was a cryptic message: "Don't let the bell catch you." Now, in 2025, the story of Marrowbone Ridge has faded into internet legend. Google Maps still shows a blurred patch of forest in Pocahontas County, West Virginia, with no roads or landmarks. Locals still refuse to talk. And if you go hiking near that region, you'll occasionally find scratched trees marked with 3 slashes and an old iron nail hammered into the bark, as if to ward something off. Campers still report hearing something strange at night. Sometimes it's laughter. Other times, a radio playing old music. And on very rare occasions, exactly at 7:43 p.m., a distant bell. 3 chimes. Then silence.